Hello, it is Saturday, January 7th, 2012 at 1:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I made a video about the caucuses, and someone brought something to my attention that I want to point out to you. Billy Hayes reminded me to check the Induction Magnetometer in Caucus, Alaska, and I did. It's I'll give you a link to it, but it's a spectrogram. It shows the frequency of signals, and I don't understand it that much, but I do understand that, you know, it shows spikes if signals are put out, and here you can see the frequency in hertz, topping out at 5.0 hertz up here. And right here, right before 12, you see a spike that goes all the way up. And then right before what would be January 4th, UTC time, 00 UTC. Well, this goes in, this is 20 hours, and this would be 22. Let me see, get this thing to go away. Okay, so 20, 24, this would be 22. So it's right after 23, right about 23. And this is a pretty good spike. It's pretty wide compared to this one over here. And going back to, this is the water vapor satellite. And one of the things I pointed out in my previous video that I'll give you a link to is that we have frames that are gray. And right here's the time. This is January 3rd, 2012 at 11:15. And if you go here, this would be 11:45. It's gray. And this would be 12:15. This would be 12:45. And then at 1:15, it comes back, 13:15 UTC. And going back to the magnetometer, that is exactly where this line falls, where that gray, where those gray frames are. And then going back again, and I'm going to go backwards, and then I'm just going to red those out so we know where they're at. And then going forward, what we were looking at was the water vapor as it approached Iowa. You can see there's these holes that appear right here. And then there's a gray one again. So at 22:45 it shows, and this would be 23:15, 23:45. This would be 0:15, 0:45, and this would be 1:15. So there was 4 frames missing here. Goes from there to there. And then again, the actual meeting started at, the caucus started at 1 UTC, which was 7 Central Standard Time. So that was right in between these two. And then the meeting went on for a period of time. And then going back here, looking at this, it's the same thing. We're right at the 23 UTC mark. I've been hesitating making this because I'm not quite sure how to do this next part. I was watching this video, and it's more listening to this video, called HAARP and Mind Control by Begich, Coast to Coast, and it's dated 8/8/2011. And in it he talks about frequencies and things that pulse, in things that we watch or that we see, that can put us in somewhat of a hypnotic state, and therefore we receive information more openly. In other words, it knocks out our filters. Like the Holy Spirit's our filter. Things come in, and he reminds us, our conscience, what to avoid or what to take in, and certain frequencies and signals can delete that, and so the message goes straight to your brain without going through the filter, I guess is the best way to say it. He doesn't talk about the Holy Spirit, but that's the way I understand it the best. And this is put into television programs and radio programs and the kids' video games, you know, the little handheld games they do. This is really an interesting video that you should watch. It's probably around the 32-minute mark that he talks about this. And I really don't even want to try to explain it because I can't I won't be able to. But when I listened to it, it reminded me of the day of the caucus, that all throughout the day, you know, here and there, I kept on my headlines on Google and Yahoo, I kept getting it that Romney won the race, that Romney won the race. I mean, that basically they kept saying it over and over again, even though we hadn't had it yet. You know, even at some point I heard that he had left the state because he was so confident, but from what I heard, that's not what the case was. And so I went back and pulled a couple articles. Let's see, gotta find where I put them. Here they are. And here's an example from 2012 Iowa caucus. Romney kicks off Iowa caucuses, and it shows him up here talking in the microphone, and it's almost like you're standing in the crowd looking up at him, and he's making an announcement saying, you know, I'm on top. You know, not that blatant. This is posted Tuesday, January 3rd at 10:45 a.m. So the caucuses weren't until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then here's another example. And again, we got him on stage with a microphone. Romney, I'll be among top group in Iowa. And again, it's almost like you're standing there. And of course, the photographers were, so I just want to be fair about it. But, you know, he's predicting he'll be among the top group. And it's almost like saying, I won. And I looked at the time of these, you know, in UTC time it looks like 12 and 23, but what we're looking at is, this is at 5:45 a.m., this first spike. So this is when people around here in Iowa get up. Most people anyway, not me, but most people. And you know, they're checking out the news and having breakfast, getting ready to go to work. And then this frequency that went out was also at, it was at 5:15 Central Standard Time. So this is when people would be getting off of work, probably looking at the news or looking at the internet before they went down to the caucuses to vote. So I just find this all very interesting that we've got these frequencies during the high visibility hours, and then that we've got these ads that are arranged like this, you know, that, and I don't remember, you know, seeing a lot of things about the other candidates during that day. I mean, the phone was ringing every half hour, but anyway, I just wanted to put this out, and I'll leave you to be the judge. I think we should all watch these upcoming caucuses and the elections very closely, because I think that we're being controlled more than we think we are, and it's not good, because I don't know. What's the value of life if someone else is running everything? It needs to be run by the Lord, because only He is good through and through. And these other things are all about making money and all about greed, and that's just evil through and through. So please pray and ask the Lord to reveal these things to you. For without Him there is no sweetness in this life. God bless you. Have a good night.